gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. I want to start with you, Justin, because you have been focused on running this event at Horseshoe Bend that is a tennis and pickleball event, but it is donating to the Kyle Pease Foundation. And I want you to first start and tell us about the event. Tell us who you are, Justin,
Sure.
and let us know about the event and what's happening in October.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for having us on. My name's Justin Adler. I am on the board of the Kyle Pease Foundation. I've been on the board. I think this is my fourth year. So it's fourth year. Yeah. So this is our third annual tennis and pickleball event. Pickleball is new this year to the event. This year it is held October 24th at Horseshoe Bend Country Club in Roswell, Georgia, and it's men's, women's, and mixed divisions. The last 2 years, we've raised right around $30,000 each year, so a total of around 60,000 giving. All the proceeds actually benefit the grant program at the Kyle Pease Foundation. I'll default to Brent on that on what that setup looks like, but essentially, the foundation gives away a few grants a year, and the athletes, that are with the foundation have to race with the foundation to be eligible to apply, and they can use, excuse me, they can use that money for various items. And the last 2 years, we've enhanced two existing grants at the foundation, but this year we will have a standalone grant. So that we're really excited for that. We have formed our own tennis committee to kind of help me with the event because it's gotten to the point where we need help. From a fundraising standpoint, from an actual day setup. So we're looking forward to the third annual event on October 24th.
That is fantastic. And I want Brent to expand on the grants and how all that works. But I want to jump right to Kyle because, Kyle, your name is on this thing. So this is about you a little bit. And I, as often people are, say, no, it's not about me. It's about the others that we serve, which is kind of where I expect you to start. But I want you to tell us about the Kyle Pease Foundation, will you?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, to echo what Justin said, thank you for having us on. Never been on a tennis podcast, so this is pretty cool. But the Kyle Pease Foundation was started in 2011 with the mission to improve the lives of people with disabilities through sports and beyond. I grew up a big sports fan. And I love the South. I love the Braves, and I never miss a game. And so our family really were very passionate about sports. And in 2010, Brett went to Florida State University, the Yale of the South, according to him. And he was out of shape, to say the least. Uh, so he got back into shape with triathlons and endurance sports. I was just amazed at his transformation and his willingness to get back in shape, to get back into shape. So I asked him, could people with wheelchairs do Ironman? And he said yes. And that's how the journey really got started. So the foundation served over 150 athletes yearly, and we do various events throughout the year.
That is amazing. And it's fun to hear that it's about those that are in the chair, I guess. So it's about those that are disabled trying to, I was reading a little bit about it where it's trying to find a little normalcy, I think is what it is, where we all run and we're used to that, but to be able to have that same feeling being in a chair has got to be amazing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kyle.
No, Grant.
I was just going to say it's really always been about inclusion. Like that was how we grew up. Myself, our other brother Evan, our parents, we were always all about including Kyle, and that's really what the Kyle Pease Foundation does. And candidly, it's why we didn't have a tennis tournament for many years because we were actually short-sighted. We thought, well, why would I do tennis if it doesn't include Kyle? If I can't get Kyle to play tennis, then it's missing the mark of what we do. And board members like Justin, who see the vision in the way that we include people with disabilities, said, here's another way to impact them. Let's bring tennis players in. They may not run and want to push a wheelchair. Most of our events are designed around endurance sports. So, Justin has served, as he mentioned, on the board for 4 years. Justin doesn't come out and push wheelchairs, but what he does do is he brings his network out and his friends and all the greater people within the community that believe in Kyle and believe in Justin and the work that we do here. And it's given us the opportunity to help give away another $30,000 a year to impact our families. So the message is inclusion. What Kyle has been doing for the last 15 years is inclusion. And it's just something we're all really proud to do. And tennis and pickleball, this tournament this year is truly an extension of that mission and what we do.
Well, I'm excited about that opening up of ideas because, sure, you can, as a foundation, generate revenue to help people doing anything. You can have a dart tournament. It shouldn't necessarily be the every event matters when it comes to it has to be what exactly we're working on. In the tennis industry, we've got a similar scenario. Not every foundation, not every nonprofit needs to be tennis related. It's one of the reasons we're having this conversation, which is, all right, guys, this is a tennis event. We know you guys are focused on endurance type sports and athletes. But in this case, you don't have Kyle specifically being a part of this tennis event because I don't know that Kyle can play tennis, but would you invite maybe next year some wheelchair tennis? Would that be a similar thing for this foundation?
Yeah, mute, Brent.
Sorry, somebody was banging the door behind me. Kyle's original vision for this was to be a fully inclusive organization in that any disability could be served through the Kyle Pease Foundation. What has happened is that people see Kyle as this beacon. He's talking to you from his third job today. So he works, he has a college degree, and he runs a nonprofit. And so people see that. So the majority of the people we serve have severe physical limitations, and most of them can't do tennis or golf or some of the other vehicles we see nonprofits. But that's not to say that we don't want to. In fact, if somebody's out there listening that's a para-athlete, a Paralympian, we would love to sponsor you. We would love to talk to you about your journey, and we'd love to have you out to this tournament to show our families what inclusion can look like on a tennis court, on a pickleball court. So we absolutely want to always be expanding that. And it's why the mission is very ambiguous, to improve the lives of people with disabilities through sports and beyond. The beyond piece is the grants, the jobs, some of the other things that we're doing, but the sports is what we've always been grounded in. And Kyle mentioned growing up a sports fan. It's what you see playing out in this organization. So we haven't figured out a good tennis joke for him yet. He's got a great golf joke for our golf tournament. So if you guys could help us with some tennis humor, maybe when we wrap up here today. So when Kyle gives his opening remarks at the tennis tournament, he can get a little chuckle from everybody.
I will stick Bobby on that because I am sure he can come up with something to help us with that one. Brent, I want you to expand on the grants and what you guys do because it's one thing to run an event. Justin's going to help run the Horseshoe Bend tennis and pickleball event. But what do you do when this money comes in? Where does that 30 grand go? What does it do?
Yeah, so when we first started this, we would meet these families. They were so impacted by the sports, they would start telling us their whole story. And Kyle and I just came away so inspired by what these families were going through. We're very fortunate in our lives that we had the means and the ability to take care of Kyle and to support him and to get him things like wheelchair accessible vans and make his bathroom accessible and just make his life livable. And so we created what we call a universal grant program. So anybody that's raced with us at any point can apply for anything that they need. And so we've renovated houses, we've built, ramps, we've provided vehicles, we've provided equipment, medical devices, and scholarship dollars, rent, everything under the sun. And so we've made it very universal. And Justin mentioned that originally the tennis tournament enhanced those grants. So when we first started, we built 3 grants, and one was really big. It gives away about $45,000 a year, and the other 2 were a little bit smaller. And so the families were feeling restricted. Well, I can't ask for the bathroom renovation. And so the tennis tournament originally was enhancing those. And so the families would ask for these things that were more expensive than the dollars we had available. And then we said, don't worry about it. We'll pay for the whole thing. In fact, last year, I'll share the young man that won one of the grants. We bought him a wheelchair that goes over curbs and goes off road because he and his dad love outdoors. And they brought it to a race. and they drove it over a curb and through the woods to show us. And it was just such a cool experience to know that this tennis tournament helped provide this $15,000 piece of equipment. What Justin's inspiration is now for the tennis tournament to create its own standalone grant to do the exact same type of thing. So $30,000 to impact a family for whatever they may need in their life to just improve their lives as the mission states.
And that's really amazing. And it's fun to have these conversations because I'm sure Justin spends a lot of time, and most of these boards are volunteer. So
Mm-hmm.
there isn't a lot of paid nonprofit board members. So this really is, I'll go back to Justin a little bit. This really is Bobby likes to use the phrase passion project, but it's more than that here. There's a love for this that you really have to have.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I got involved with the foundation 4 years ago because I went to one of the athlete celebrations. And what really inspired me was there was a gentleman named Cecil, and he won one of the grants. And he was in a mobile wheelchair, and he won this grant. And he goes, "This is good. This is amazing. I can now buy a car and go anywhere." And I was like blown away because like I have a car. I can go wherever I want, but some of these athletes don't have the means to it. And that's kind of what inspired me to get involved. And so with the tennis tournament, we can now, help these athletes one more time because now we're giving away a fourth grant. So it's an amazing event. It's an amazing foundation as well.
And so, is there anything specific here as we focus on trying to get our audience to understand? Because our audience is used to nonprofit style events. We understand foundations, we understand how these things work. But I think what people miss sometimes is that the nonprofit doesn't always have to be tennis specific. And in this case, with this specific foundation, it isn't necessarily going to some young kid to play tennis, right? This is a different scenario. This is tennis. What's it called? For the Love of Tennis, I think is the event name. If I got that right?
For the love of inclusion.
Yeah.
And For the Love of Inclusion is the reference. Or okay, For the Love of Inclusion. Okay. And in that case, we're playing tennis to help the Kyle Pease Foundation, right, Brent?
Yeah, so the way I would think about it is Justin just said it, right? He met a young man that didn't have the means to just get around on his own. And so why not take what the foundation does? So when Kyle and I do events, I physically push Kyle in a wheelchair. And so what we always tell people is that Kyle borrows my legs, but I borrow Kyle's spirit. And so that's what tennis is. You have a gift. You are our volunteers and our donors, you have a physical gift to be able to play tennis, something that maybe you do take for granted. And so why don't you bring that gift, come out and do something that you love and share that gift with more people like Kyle? Because just by simply doing something that you're passionate about, you're going to open doors for people like Kyle and Cecil and Emmanuel and Justin and Natalie and so many others that didn't have that opportunity before. So who knew that hitting a yellow tennis ball into or over the net, I'm the into the net guy, to be clear,
Sure.
could make such an impact. And I commend Justin as a board member and friend to the foundation and to Kyle and I for bringing that vision to and helping us understand that we can impact people far beyond the finish line through the things that we love.
Yeah, I mean, I think we really nailed it on the head. What this tennis tournament means to the Kyle Pease Foundation. Because if you would have brought this to us 5 years ago, there would have been no way that that we could do this. But because you brought it to us, he had a vision and he executed that. And you don't have to be a runner to feel the love of the KPF family. So Justin and being bringing that through tennis, and it's truly amazing to be a part of.
Yeah, I can imagine. And like I said, we're used to this. Justin, I believe, has filled out the application for the GoTennis Foundation, where we as a foundation help other nonprofits, connect with more tennis events. And I'd like to take this opportunity, I guess, to say thank you to Brent and Kyle because you've made a good argument that the nonprofit doesn't necessarily have to be directly related to the tennis event or whatever golf event, whatever it is. And I guess a lot of those are a little bit obvious as I say it now because there's the breast cancer awareness event that we do in October that isn't necessarily directly related to tennis. except that a lot of the tennis players are in it because they know someone who is going through that. And I think in this case, it might be more of a push if anybody in the area or our audience knows someone who is disabled and would like help, to be able to reach out to this specific foundation. Brent, how does our audience get in touch with the Kyle Pease Foundation?
KylePeaseFoundation.org is our website, and you can connect through everything, our social media, our newsletter, as well as all of our events. And on our events page, you can also quickly sign up for Love of the Inclusion before we sell out. So all things KPZ live right there at KylePeaseFoundation.org.
Easy to find. I like it. Justin, anything specific to this event? Do you sell out every year? Is there really there's only, spots are going fast, or is that just a marketing ploy here? Do we actually fill this thing up?
It's definitely not a marketing ploy. We filled it up. First year we had 90 participants, close to 90. And then the last year we had to limit it to like 80. So this year we will sell out because it's not around any fall breaks or anything of that nature. So we will sell out. We still have sponsorships available. And then the doubles pairings are available right now on the website.
Okay. And just so people have an idea, and some people don't like to talk about money, I'm not shy with things like that. What does it cost to be a part of this thing? Is it, $500 a person? Where are we with this?
Yeah, great question. So a doubles pairing is $350. That's for 2 people. You get a prize bag, raffle tickets, free booze included in the ticket as well. And then you get to play tennis for a great cause. We'll have some raffle items from, Wilson and Babolat and Technofiber and some of those tennis companies. But yeah, and then, we do have sponsorships available. We are looking for some pickleball sponsorships. So if anyone's out there in the pickleball world, connect with us, and we'd love to have you as a sponsor.
I'm sure we can figure that one out. So I'm going to go hierarchical. Kyle, got anything else for us?
Yeah, we can go say that some of our athletes will be out there that day as well, so it will be good for people to, see what they're giving to and all that. So we're really excited and proud to be a part of for the rubber inclusion.
I love it. Awesome. Brent?
Kyle is to exercise as John McEnroe is to tennis. So the language that you hear from Kyle on a race course would be akin to listening to John McEnroe. So maybe, Kyle, that's the joke that we were missing. No, I really appreciate the platform to share about what we do. There's so many worthy causes out there and wonderful organizations like ours that are doing really good work for wonderful people. And so we really appreciate the platform to share our message with your audience and with the tennis world.
Absolutely. Happy to help. Justin, one last invitation for the Horseshoe Bend event. Give us the date, the time, all that.
Yeah, October 24th this year, 9 a.m., Horseshoe Bend Country Club in Roswell.
I love it. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it's good for everybody because we get to share what we're doing. We like to share good things, and that's the kind of news we want to bring. And this we believe as a good thing. We know and love Horseshoe Bend, if those of us that have been in the area forever. And our good friend is the director of tennis over there. We'll give a shout out to Arturo Nieto and tell him we're coming for you in October, Arturo. So he better be ready. But Kyle, Brent, Justin, Bobby, as always, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.